I finally made it to the scenery of the Chiricahua Mountains and wanted to give you a recording of some of the rocks in this area. The rocks that you're looking at are not hand sculpted. There'd be just too many of them. You know, in order for man to be able to do all this, this is all nature you're looking at. It's so amazing. Especially, there's a real thin one I wanted to show you. I think it's in the center of the picture now. You know, I think it's just amazing that thing's still standing. You know, I'm amazed that it doesn't break. But, you know, if you look here, the trail's very rocky. And, you know, this is obviously man-made. I don't think this has happened naturally, but, you know, this was made around the, this is made to be around the rocks here. But, you know, these rocks here that you're looking at now are all natural. But so amazing that something like this, you know, it could be natural, you know. To me, it's just, you know, it just blows my mind. You know, it shows creation out here. You know, and like I said in the earlier part of the video, the East Coast, you don't see anything like this. It's all man-made mostly. I mean, not the hills and valleys, but you know, you see a lot of civilization. Now today is not really a high visibility day, you know, monsoon season, you know, clouds, rain. There's some mountain ranges out there that you'd be able to see if it wasn't for the haze. But, alright, now I'm going to take you around here. And the video is a lot more stable than my other ones because I actually have a stand that I can hold and mount this on. Because when I'm just holding the camera like a regular camera, I get a lot of this. And that's what happened when I went hiking. And plus it shows that I'm working at that time, working out, and pretty much that's what hiking up the Chiricahua Mountains is, or any other tough mountain. It's like more of a workout, and I guess the shakiness of the film shows that I'm working out or working hard. But this is more just a scenery view, so you know, I want it to be a little more smooth here. Gotta be careful some of these rocks here. As you can see, you know, I have to rely mostly on friction. Because if it was raining and these rocks were more slippery, I'd probably slip very easily, and I would probably see my feet in front of my face before I hit the ground. And I've slipped like that, and it's not fun. About a couple months ago, I was here taking pictures and posted them on my Facebook and MySpace, but I figured, you know, getting a video would be, you know, a good idea, because then I'd be able to explain everything to you. And look down here, there's a rock structure with ventilation device on top. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go down and check it out and see what it is. Actually, I could be wrong about the ventilation on top of this structure here, because I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that there's stone steps that go to the top. So I'm going to go check it out. Look how low the rail is here. You know, my knee is a lot higher, almost as high as the rail. You know, a little kid plays around, he can, you know, sustain a great fall. injure him or herself, or even, you know, kill himself. So that's why it's not a good idea for kids to be walking around here without parental supervision or adult supervision to be more general. Here we go. I don't know if you want to pause the video or not and read this, but figured I'd show you what it says. It's just spectacular. Down here, a bunch of trees. Look at that. Yeah, you'd have a really long fall if you fell over the edge here. If I dropped my camera, I wouldn't be that happy. See some other tourists over there. It's just unbelievable. I mean, look at this. And that rock there. See, there's a big gap there. I mean, who would figure that thing would stay up there? They have stuff like that they hang right over the road that I took to get here. You know? And I guess the people who constructed the road are confident that nothing's going to happen. We can never say never. Here's a Stone Age telescope that you use to look around. I doubt it works. I mean, it's not like it magnifies the view. I think it's broken. I mean, this thing is probably around, I don't know, several decades at least. 100 years for all I know. So, alright, I'm going to take you to the other side of this mound here and show you what's over on the other side. Here's a little hut that they placed on top of a hill over here. And I don't know if you're watching my video when I hiked up to Miller Peak, but I mentioned that there used to be a small cabin on top where they had like a small room and a bed. I believe it looked something like this, but it probably wasn't made out of stone, because when they went to lift it off the top of the mountain, they did it with a helicopter. I doubt they'd be able to lift this thing up with a helicopter. It'd just be too heavy. So I'm going to go in here. Get that historical smell. It smells pretty good, actually. It's one of the few old smells that I like. And here it talks about the area, about you know, how the rocks took the form they did. I mean, look at this. I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, stuff like that hangs over the road. You know, I'd be afraid of it falling over and hitting my car. But I don't know if you're interested in reading the whole thing here, but you know, maybe or maybe not the camera can get enough detail. Now here's an example of how it is out west at nighttime. You see here, this is like a representation of all the lighting, you know, and it's dark. As you can see, you know, the eastern half of the United States, it's just a big light. But you go out west here, you know, you see that the dots, you can actually make out the individual dots, and they're spread out more. So it's more nature out here, you know. You look at Africa, barely has any except for at the part down here. Australia, well, Australia pretty much goes all green. I think there's a television show based on that where everybody in Australia turns off their lights at night. You know, here in the Middle East, you know, it's very lit up. You know, Spain, France,